Guess what, revenge fans? I am back. It is Monica of TVandPopcorn.com, and I am here with my first Revenge Season 4 review, which I'm excited about because I waited 3 episodes to give this review just to see where everything was going to fall in line. I didn't want to start doing this review, and then next thing you know, I had a bunch of I hate going on. So let me tell you what has me chipper right now with where revenge is going, and then I can talk about the things that I don't like, because there are definitely things that I don't like. But what I did like, you're gonna be like, this girl is crazy. What I did like was the promo for episode 4. I was gonna say season 4, but the promo for episode 4, I was psyched about, because Emily gets to see David, her father, which they brought back to life. And I absolutely hate that idea, but okay, so they're running with that. And what we see is Emily is in the precinct with Jack, and her father is standing in a lineup. So I'm figuring, and this is just me assuming because I don't really know. Nothing is really as it seems anymore with revenge, which I'm kind of not liking that, because when season 1 hit of Revenge, it was like bam, bam, everything was getting handled immediately. And I'm thinking now that Revenge may have moved too quickly with Emily's Revenge, which is why we're in this little tumble and rumble and feel through of what they have going on now. But anyway, back to the precinct. I like that she's there with David without crazy behind Victoria being anywhere in the picture. But like I said, nothing's as it seems. So Victoria may know where David is at this point. I have no idea. It doesn't really show that in the promos, but I'm digging that, because that's an opportunity for Emily to maybe embrace her father, tell her father who she is, excuse me, because Victoria has basically lied to David, and he took it for that moment until, of course, this episode here, episode 3, where he walked in Emily's bedroom in the Grayson Manor home. How crazy is that? And he has a knife in her hand, and he's pretty much ready to take her out for Victoria until he sees her face, which thank goodness, because when he saw Charlotte, he was like, "Oh, I remember your eyes." He only saw Charlotte one time in a courtroom setting. So for him to remember all that, I'm like, surely he remembers his own daughter, which is, of course, Amanda Clark, aka Emily Thorne. So we see that shocked look on his face when he walks into her bedroom. And of course, Nolan comes in to save the day, because he's pretty much there to watch out for Emily. But riddle me this: why is it that Nolan has to stay in the guest house when Emily is in that big doggone house by herself? I'm gonna need Emily to step it up and give Nolan a real room in her home when she's the only one running around there, her and whatever servants and maids that she has. But seriously, that hit my mind. I don't know why I pay attention to that type of detail. I do think that it's hardcore that Emily is staying in the Grayson Manor home. That's like, it's crazy, and I understand it, but that's really bold, because right now we kind of see Victoria scrambling, trying to get her family back together, trying to get her money back together, and of course we see her manipulating anyone that she can to do this, including Margot. And I've heard so much, of course, reading social media comments about the fashion style of Revenge this season, and it's cracking me up. And I do agree, the hair has been kind of crazy, but I'm glad I waited until episode 3 to give this review, because Nolan looked good episode 3. I liked his, whole all black, black t-shirt, black pants, and his hair looked nice, and he didn't look like he fell off a rainbow and rolled into some other colorful ocean somewhere and then went paintball fighting and came back. So I'm digging the style on episode 3. Now, my dislikes, of course, it's Charlotte leaving Emily to die, episode 2, when she burned down the stowaway. So Emily goes back and she traces um, her sister's phone, Charlotte's phone, and she goes where Charlotte is located, which is where Victoria and David Clark is hiding out. And Emily basically pretty much pleads with Charlotte to speak with her, but of course she also in that sense lets Charlotte know that no, I'm not going to rat you out. I know what you did, but this is between you and I. At this point, Victoria's holding a shotgun to Emily's head, or to her, period. And Emily says, shoot me, which then later on tells Nolan that she really meant it. And Nolan's looking at her like, you're crazy. You better be glad she didn't shoot you. And at this point, Emily understands that there is something that Victoria knows that she doesn't know, and it's really bothering her. So I'm happy that they're moving it along and that something will be revealed to Emily by episode 4. Now, Emily Van Camp, who plays Emily Thorne, has stated that we're going to like the way the season goes as it progresses. So I'm hanging on to that word because honestly, starting off in episode 3, I was like, I would hate to be one of those lame, just not really caring type of fans who say they're diehard fans of Revenge, and then the moment something goes down they don't like, then it's like, bam, I'm out. I'm dropping Revenge. I would hate to be like that. I want it to be like that though, and I don't mind being lame. Seriously, and forgive me for anyone who's checking out this review and you've decided not to watch Revenge anymore after episode 3. I'm not necessarily calling you lame. I'm just saying it's kind of lame to drop off on a show if you're a diehard fan. I'm just saying. So, of course, Revenge is one of my most reviewed shows, and I really enjoy it. But I really did want to. At the beginning of the episode, I was like, you know what, bump it. I'm through with Revenge, but I know I couldn't do that, and I'm hanging in. I really want to see how everything goes. I think that, as Emily Van Camp says, who plays Emily Thorne, that it will get better, and hopefully Emily will get back on her game because she's been off of her game, really, if we be honest, midway season 2 through season 3. And I'm really tripping that Emily hasn't really dealt with Daniel after shooting her. I guess that's just a forgive and forget type of situation. And it's going to be interesting to also see where Daniel's character goes this season. Margot pretty much handled her brother, so Daniel's free and clear and really doesn't have that hanging over his head as of yet. But I don't know if Margot's brother is completely out of the picture or not. Then when it boils down to Nolan, I'm going to really be interested to see how he reacts to David being alive, because a lot of people speculated that Nolan might have known. But Nolan is so honest and upfront, and he loves Emily, and you can really tell that. I don't think Nolan would have kept a secret that big from her and watched her whole world crumble in the process, because of course she lost Aiden in season 3, and of course she lost the posed Amanda Clark and Declan, and so there have been some casualties to this revenge agenda that Emily has had. So I don't think Nolan would have sat back and watched that happen knowing that David Clark was alive. So there's a lot going on. I'm going to be screaming at the TV, and hopefully I don't have anything to throw because I don't need to bust my TV. I have 2 TVs in my home, so I don't need to bust either one of them. But I'm going to be kicking and screaming if Victoria gets any more leeway than she already has. I hope that the writers twist this back in Emily's hands and that she's able to do what she does, because another thing that I thought about Emily is she's trained in revenge. Victoria is not. Victoria is a very good manipulator, very good liar, and she's used to covering things up, but she's not trained and skilled to look out for certain things that Emily is. So hopefully things will get clearer and Emily will understand what's going on. And also I'm hoping that the writers does not stick to just Emily and the Grayson family and the David Clark scenario, but and it kind of looks like they're not, because they're introducing new characters, including this young lady who was in the psych ward with Victoria before she broke out, and she did not break this young lady out. Now she's sitting around at the bar manipulating Daniel. And so I feel like something may end up backfiring on Victoria because she's not aware of her surroundings and she doesn't know who she's dealing with. Unlike Emily, she researches and she digs deep and she understands people. Victoria didn't really start doing that until her speculations of who Emily might be went through the roof. And once that happened, then yeah, she started doing more digging so she can kind of get it done. But I feel like while Victoria is after Emily, someone's going to be after Victoria, and it's just going to be this whole rumbling. And let's not forget that Patrick is still out there somewhere. So I'm wondering if they'll introduce him back into season 4. It's just a lot of people can come in and out of this season, so I'm looking forward to that. And I would love to know how you feel about the Revenge season 4, episode 1, 2, and 3 as of today. How you're feeling about how it's going. Please leave me a comment, and I do really appreciate you checking in and listening to my little Revenge episode 3 review. I waited all this time. I'm excited. I'm psyched. And oh, tell me how you also like Jack's new job, him being a police. I like it. I think it's neat, and I'm rooting for him to do away with the stowaway, but maybe he won't, because the stowaway is so iconic. It might be a reason that they keep the stowaway in, or somebody else might buy it, or something. I don't know, but it's kind of like weird, the Revenge without the stowaway. It's been in the picture for so long. So, but he's thinking about it. I don't know. I'm rooting for him to move on, and he wants to really spend time with the people and the friends that he loves. And it looks like him and Emily's relationship have mended for the most part. So we'll see how it goes. So let me know what you think about all of those juicy good things, and I will be talking to you very soon on another Revenge episode. I don't know if I'm going to go episode by episode or if I'll jump in and out, because I really have to feel the way things are going before I give my thoughts. So that's it. It's been Monica, and check me out at www.tvandpopcorn.com, and I will talk to you all soon. Have an awesome day and an awesome week at whatever time you're watching this. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.